Welcome back to our pyramid home, and today we're going to be getting started with some improvements to that mob duplicator that we got last episode. First of all, we're going to get some control over it, which will be handy, but also other bits and pieces. Mainly that I want to get some item conduit started. That needs pulsating nuggets and conduit binder. Conduit binder is really quite easy. So do we have enough patterns? We probably do. We're just going to make the system be able to craft it. So we want, in crafting mode, first of all, let's just set up the conduit binder composite. Okay. And now knows how to make that. And then we also want to just create this, which is a smelting recipe. So back to processing, and we'll have that done as well. And then we can put them in the right places. Now I am probably running out of space of the electric furnace pretty soon now. So I'm probably going to need to make another one, but for the moment that's going to be fine. And then we can just put the general crafting recipe here. And that means for the most part, we know how to make item conduit. The only thing is we need pulsating iron. Now pulsating iron is going to be a couple of things in the alloy smelter. Iron and ender pearls. So we don't have that many ender pearls. So I want to make sure I don't want to craft too many of these things. But it still should be okay, because we get basically 3 batches of item conduit from every ender pearl, so that's not too bad. That's not too bad. We also want some redstone alloy, so we may as well make a recipe for that as well. That is silicon and redstone. Okay, and we'll grab that. Both of those are in the alloy smelter. Have I hooked up the alloy smelter? I haven't. Is it still up here? Or is it alloy furnace? Could be alloy furnace. Yeah, let's try the alloy furnace. Let's see whether I actually can create them. So redstone alloy ingot, redstone. Let's make 6 of that. Okay, and then we'll also want to queue up. Oh, in fact, it looks like it's already going to make some just fine. Yep, that's going to be fine. And then this one is the pulsating iron, of course. So pulsating iron. Let me just make just the one. Yeah, let's see whether that will actually run. Yep, that's going to work fine. And then we're also going to want some conduit binder. So we want quite a bit of this, but it depends how much the system can make. I'm just going to say, I don't know, 50. Okay, and it shouldn't take it terribly long. No, it doesn't take it long at all, which means we can then add the final recipe, which is the conduits themselves. In crafting mode. Yeah, there we go. So Ender IO conduits. So very nice. I don't think I want this as a crafting recipe, you know. I don't need that much redstone conduit, honestly. 16 should be more than enough. And however, I will probably need quite a lot of item conduit over time. We can get rid of the transporter stuff that we are currently using from Mechanism, and that should be quite good. So yeah, we've got 38 there. That should be more than enough. Was that? Yeah, we just need one more recipe. We need to tell the system how to make this. Or we just make it manually, but I think I wanted to tell the system how to make it. So let me make sure it knows how to convert. We're going to need some more patterns. That much is for certain. But other than that, that should all now be done. And yeah, so now if I want, say, 12. Yep, it makes 16 just because of how it works, but we've now got item conduits. Good. That probably means we need a Yeta wrench as well. Very handy thing to have. Electrical steel and a stone gear. Stone gear should be trivial. Do we have electrical steel? Do we have a recipe for electrical steel? We probably do. Let's just get that created. There we go. How much silicon do we have? We have 4,096. That means my system's full because I haven't done any upgrades. So let's just craft an emerald upgrade. And I'm just going to go and dump that in my system. And I'll show you where my silicon is. You've probably seen it before if you were watching last episode. But it's down here at the very top. We have silicon. And if I just pop that in there. Yeah, there it goes. So it was limited by that. These are both full as well, cobblestone and gravel. So we probably have a few things to look at here. Yeah, this is all full basically with sand and other stuff. I could actually just make sure the system can actually grab some of the other stuff as well. Sand and dust. And we'll just put them in the drawers that are reserved for them. So we always have a reserve of each of the things that this particular material stonework factory can actually create. You can change these grind modes to furnace mode and stuff like that and end up with stone and other stuff as well. But we can easily add that, and that's sort of my basic ingredients drawer controller. And emerald upgrades make it actually fairly worthwhile to actually do that without doing much else. We don't really need to store it in the E22 system. It's super high capacity by itself. Until we get to something like deep storage, of course. And deep storage is another thing entirely. Or whatever deep storage is called in... Is it still called deep storage? Deep storage? It is not called deep storage. Okay. It's called something else. It used to be called deep storage in MFR. Don't worry, we'll get to it later. We also, I guess, we're going to need some power conduit as well. We've got item and redstone conduit. So looking at the conduits, and it's just basic energy conduit. Yeah, maximum output. Let's just go for the basic version. This needs conductive iron, and that should be another alloy smelter recipe, which actually means I'm going to need more patterns, aren't I? Let's just get to the system to craft some more patterns. And yes, I know I can shift click on the next button. I always forget. But I know I can actually press that. It's a shortcut. You don't need to see that intermediary screen if you're confident enough that it's actually all going to work. So yeah, with some patterns, which I can just grab on there, and we'll get that sorted with conductive iron, alloy smelter, not the alloy smelter, alloy furnace. Yeah, processing mode. If only because we are going to get to alloy smelters, but we need to just sort of shortcut things for the moment. And we're probably going to need a lot of these anyway as well. So yeah, I'll just tell the system to make conductive iron. It's not going to be too hard because it's just iron and redstone. Why don't you just make me 40 or so? Yeah, there you go. That should start crafting. And in the meantime, I'm just going to start off by actually, what are you currently crafting? CPU 0? Why are you not doing anything? Ah, you are. Good. Why are you stuck? I presume I'm actually using it for something, but you are stuck. Oh, where did I put that? Where did I put that pattern? Wrong place. Yeah, it won't work there. No wonder that isn't working. Now it is. Yeah, it's crafting. Which means I've got some view. Which means I've got 16 of you as well. Good. All right, so now we have all of those, and we should have our Yeta wrench available as well if we just make that. One Yeta wrench. Cool, that's that. Will that get any quests in Ender.io, I wonder? No, because I need to craft a machine chassis first. And it doesn't have any quests for those basic items either. But yeah, I don't care because they are pretty amazing to use. Okay, I'm going to need a lever. Lever. And that's pretty much it. All that we're going to do now is we are going to feed... we're going to take the walls out for a second. We're going to feed fluid in, and I don't have any fluid conduit yet, but we can leave that there for now because we have other sides available. I'm going to basically feed power in, coming from over here. We're going to feed a signal in, and signal, I think I'm probably going to make it this block, something like that. Okay, so we're going to want to feed a signal saying, hey, start. There we go. And then we also want the items coming back out. Now, the items coming back out, we're probably going to need a vacuum. I don't think there's any other good options just yet. But we'll have those. So let's look at vacuum. I don't have a spare one, but a vacuum hopper should do the job. Yeah. We're also going to want a mob crusher, I think. So we need to look at crafting that in a minute. And we're going to want somewhere to store this kind of stuff for the moment. So chest, just craft me a regular chest or something. In fact, an iron chest. It will take it a second, but it should actually do that. With that going, so we've got a vacuum, something collecting items. We've got something to feed the items from there to whatever we want. In this case, just a chest to start. Why are you... Oh, you're making iron plates. Thought it would be crap faster than that. There we go. Is there anything else? We just want a crusher, really. A tether, maybe. How much is an ender tether? Why don't I have any of wither dust? Well, if I get a wither skeleton skull, I can just convert it into wither dust. Which means I'm probably going to want to take a trip to the nether. I want a mob imprisonment tool. Or two. And there goes my ender pearls. I'm going to basically want to grab an enderman in one of them, and I'm going to want to get a wither skeleton in the other one. I apologise if this is too dark, but I wanted to just show you anyway. We're over here in the nether, and yeah, let me just light things up a little bit. I think there is a... hopefully that's a little bit lighter for you guys. There is a wither skeleton or two right over there. You see right over there? Yep, they don't like being lit up terribly. Oh, yeah, goodbye. So I'm not going to kill them. I actually want to imprison them. So we will just get that lit up a little bit. And then go and grab one. Hopefully. Well, hey. 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 Thank you. And you can just, yeah, you can just fall over. Did I get anything useful out of you? No, probably not. Okay, let's head back over to our base. And from there, we can, well, make some changes. Okay, now we need to get a mob crusher up and running. So that is going to be a machine case. Let's make one of those. So advanced machine casing. Oops. Machine case. There we go. And a mob crusher. Have everything we've got there. The system knows how to make gold gears now. So we now have a mob crusher. That should also give us a quest in Industrial Foregoing. Yep, there's the mob crusher. And it should remember, hopefully, that, yep, I did actually make a mob duplicator. So we get a couple of chests to open. And a pot. Okay. Not sure what we'd use those for. Storing stuff, obviously. And Tesla coils. Okay, just random stuff that we end up storing back in our system. Let's get it to daytime, and then we should be able to, hopefully, finish up crafting with stuff. So let me show you what I've set up already. And you can, obviously, critique it as you normally would. Out here, I've got a chest set into the ground for now. We'll put a storage system out here. It's not a problem. I've got basically a redstone conduit running from that block right there underneath with a lever attached to it going underneath to the mob duplicator. And then we've got energy conduit going the other way, going that way. What I'm probably going to do here, we're going to be able to do this with, what was I going to say? Yeah, we're going to be able to cover these up with once we get to Ender IO machines, but for now I don't care too much how they're actually situated, and that's the wrong way around. There we go. So, yep, mob crusher is going to need some power, so I am going to need to bring power up and in. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually just going to move this. Okay, we'll just move this out somewhere else. I'll have to make some fluid conduit or something. Let me just send it that way. So that's going to go all the way out there. And we'll connect it together a little while. But for now, I'll just disconnect it. Because this system is already full, it will actually use it all up. And it's sort of a safety feature, if you like. Think about it like that. All right, that means I can then run power underneath and around. So let's just grab my power conduits, 10 of it. Let's run you here. So nice when you get to Ender IO conduit. That should be powered up. Yep. And then we're also going to want to just feed out some items. So we're going to feed items from there to here, at least initially. This can be, we can put something else in here in a little while. Probably just going to put it here eventually. In fact, let's just do that now. Yeah, because this is now, it's no longer offset from the center of the room, so we may as well do it. We can replace this chest with a drawer controller later, but for now, a chest will do fine. If you don't remember how to use the Yeta wrench, it's fine. Just basically shift left click on any kind of junction, and you get the option to edit whichever side. In this case, up. We're going to set this to extract on green, always active. And then the west side, we're just going to set to insert everything, and that is that pretty much. Let's get you done and get the floor back in. I may even move this and this out somewhere else later. We'll put it underneath via fluid conduit, then I don't need to have anything else in here apart from that one mob duplicator, which will make it much nicer. But for now, that should be enough to have this be pretty secure. Of course, I am making wither skeletons, so I have to be a little bit careful. The other thing you have to do with wither skeletons is, if we can, does the mob duplicator have any spawn exact copy? Let me just put this in. Does it spawn an exact copy all the time? I thought there was an option. Maybe I'm thinking of a different block. We'll see how the wither skeletons work anyway. The difficulty with the wither skeletons is that they are just special types of normal skeletons. So if you have it spawning non-exact copies, however that actually works, it will just spawn normal skeletons as well, and occasionally a wither skeleton. What we actually want is just wither skeletons. So I'm just going to get some glass, and it'll tell us to craft some glass. Craft me 100 or something, that's fine. And we'll just put basically a door in there so that I can see in while things turn on, or hopefully it'll turn on, and we'll see how it goes. Hi, wither skeletons. Hi. Hi. Okay. One, and come on, let's just go to the top. There we go. Okay, so yes, I can control it, and that is pretty good. I just have, for you haven't seen this before, I always forget which way around these things are, so I will show you what I've got it set to. If I remember rightly, you just set it as the input wherever the lever is, and the output for wherever the machine is. However, in this case, I just set both of them. I just set the single color to the same thing, and it works. I never remember the way around, but I think that's the way it officially should be going around. And the same thing on that end. So this thing is now working, apart from the fact that Mob Crusher is not, and that is probably because it's missing a range upgrade. If we have a look at its working area, yep, it currently will only do that area. So if I just take this out for a second, range add-on 3, and let's put you in here. Yeah, so it will do the entire room with another range add-on 3. That's fine. I was just making sure it wouldn't just, remove it 1, 2, 3, and then that wouldn't be terribly useful, to be fair. So let's just go and craft another range upgrade, range add-on, I should say, and that should help. Range add-on and +3. Yeah, there we go. All right, now the whole thing should go automatic once I put this in. Okay, hide the working area, that's all fine. This should be fine as well. So let's just enable this thing and let's see it working, hopefully. So, flip switch. And there goes all my XP. So, that'll be exactly why. Oh no, it's still fine. I just ran out of power. There is no battery right now, that's the thing. This thing is working, but it only generates 300 hour per tick. So what you're probably going to want to do is have some kind of separate battery out here, and that's perfectly possible to build as well. Let's go and see what our system, inverted quote marks, has produced us. We've got some bits and pieces. Wither ash, okay. Did we wanted something else? I wanted, what was it? Dropping from wither skeletons, wither dust. Okay, so that drops from wither skeleton skulls, so we need the skulls ideally. Fine. The options are we create something that beheads, which is basically another type of Tinker's Construct tool. That's one option. Or we have just a large amount of these being produced. That's the other option. So what we could do is we could, let's just see. Yeah, you see, this thing is already gathering some essence. Now, it's not going to be as much essence as we get from actually generating it. You know, we're going to use essence here because it's being used up by this. Yeah, fluid essence here, going in here. We're not going to get it all back. But this mob crusher can generate essence from other places. In particular, we have a blood magic farm, remember? And we don't need it all the time, but we could be generating essence from it. And that means if we have another mob crusher, we can set something up over there to generate the essence in the first place. Now, before I'm going to need that, I'm going to need to basically get another mob imprisonment tool, which I've got. And I need to get the first tether set up so that I can get another Enderman farm, basically. Until I have this set up, I can't create an Enderman farm because they'll just teleport everywhere. Well, I suppose I could, but I'd need to kill the first few manually. And yeah, I'd much rather have them tethered in place and killed automatically. So we want one with a skeleton skull, which means I'm going to want to probably make a battery of some kind just to have this, you know, work its way through however much fluid essence I have. So what do we have for battery? Energy cube. We want... Do we really want this? I think we probably do. Alloy. Yeah, I'm probably going to want, I don't know, 8 of them. Yep. We'll get those made. And then I'll make it up into an energy cube. I'll upgrade to the second tier, the same one that we've got right next to our AE2 system, so that we have at least some buffer out there. The eagle-eyed among you may have spotted that there is a different recipe entirely for that wither dust, which is just 2 of these wither bones, which we can able to get the wither dust. So that just means I can shortcut that whole thing and not have to worry about it. And that should mean we should be able to craft with a few bits and pieces. The necrotic bone will do, but I want the tether. Okay, and the tether, that just means I'm going to need an unstable ender pearl, and that is everything apart from just some obsidian, and I can go and harvest that from the mine. Then I came over here, turned on a mob farm for a little while. Whoops. Gonna deal with the Enderman. I'm going to turn this back off again until we get another mob crusher in place, and for the moment that can go back off. There we go. And I have an Enderman. More importantly, if we head back over to the pyramid and head out, I've rearranged a few things. One is that fluid is now stored underneath whatever's left in that drum. That's going to be just going to be used up, and I'm just going to switch out the previous occupant of our mob duplicator with Enderman. Now, I did get a comment between the episodes saying you can get mobs to hold things and then duplicate them exactly, and then that they will duplicate holding that specific thing. Now, that may have been patched out, but if you want to try it, I'm not going to try it in this particular pack. I did it in Project Ozone 3 using husks. So you create husks out in deserts, you throw something at them. As soon as one picks something up, you then use your mob imprisonment tool, and that holds that mob, which is also holding that item. So then you can duplicate exactly, and you end up with a whole bunch of that item, and particularly, like, for example, infinite ingots or all kinds of other stuff you can actually make with that. So this is now ready to try, see whether we can get Enderman. Yep, we can get Enderman. I love it when systems work. I am going to need some kind of sound muffler, however, but that did get me some ender pearls, more importantly than anything else. So yes, the ender pearls are very much welcome, and of course you can use those to make more mob imprisonment tools. The other thing that I can think of we're going to want is a witch. So if you see a witch in your mob farm, and it takes a little while to get one, but you know, you can easily just turn it on, watch for a witch, pick it up with a mob imprisonment tool, you know, just pick up every mob until you find one with a witch in it, and you dump it out otherwise. Because we're going to be using that in blood magic. They heal themselves, and they're very, very useful for doing that. But otherwise, we now have a way of generating ender pearls. Now, muffler, do we have a block? Super Sand muffler. Is this a block-based thing, or is it a bauble? Whitelist range sand muffles. Let's see if I can actually do that. No block. Okay, is this a block I can put down? It is. Okay, it's going to work exactly the same way. Good. So if I just bring this out here and up top, something like that, we will put the smelter on this side. Okay, up here or something. And then we will add recent. Well, we need to turn this on for a short section. Cool. I want to make sure that that's actually added. So whitelist and recent. Not in there. That really should be there. There we go, Enderman death. We'll add that so we can't hear it. And otherwise, we can just make sure its range is super huge, so we can never hear Enderman dying. And silence. Silence, and Endermen are tethered by that tether up there, and everything is nice. And I get free ender pearls. Well, not free, but it converted it from my player XP. 20 ender pearls. We are going to want a lot more than that, of course, so we do need a sustainable way of getting basically mob essence and not converting it from player XP, which means I'm going to want to create another mob crusher, which is just something I do in the background, and we can go and install it over at the other side of everything. And that just means I need one last thing, which is a way of moving it around, and that is simple enough to do with a tank, ender tank that is. And do I have enough of these? I think the system knows how to make cauldrons. Yeah, I did tell it to, so it could do something else. So it'll make those. And then the tank with a particular colour can make sure I get the essence all the way from the farm, all the way back over here. All I need is a power source over at the farm, and that's, again, simple enough to do just like we did over here. So everything's built. We now have a fully automatic mob farm. There is our first cauldron. Fully automatic mob farm. I needed a little bit more ardite there, it looks like. Ardite. Yeah, let me just cook a couple up in a furnace somewhere. Do I have a furnace at all up here? No, I don't. So yeah, fully automatic mob farm. All I need to do is add the mob crusher, but you've seen me add this one over at this particular duplicator, so you don't need me to see another one, surely. You could either put it in the bottom of the shaft, and that's probably the best idea for that, and just put a range upgrade +1 in it, because the shaft is only 2x2, and it will just kill things as they drop down. Or you could put it in the top and then have it block off the drop. But we probably want the drop for the blood altar, at least until we switch across to witches. So, you know, that's your choice as to when you actually do that. In my case, and yeah, I don't care about doubling this, in my case, I'm going to put it in the drop shaft, and that will get our mob essence running. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this episode. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing everything set up for automatic harvesting, if you like, of mobs, and everything is going well there. So one more cauldron, and that can go there. That means my default channel is going to be white, which is going to be the blood channel. I'm just going to use a single green on each one of these, and that should change across from blood, or life essence, I should say, across to mob essence, and we'll just go and put those down. Cool. All right, give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Feel free to subscribe, share, like, as you normally would. Put comments down below with suggestions for other people playing through, and we'll see you next time for some more Enigmatica 2 Expert Mode. As always, guys, thanks for watching.